After a brief respite, the Greenville Triumph, they're driving back home into the campus of Legacy Early College as they'll host the Lansing Ignite FC for the third and final time this season. I'm Chris McCovic alongside me, Ross Davenport. Welcome into Greenville, South Carolina. Reedy River Riot marching in, and a great atmosphere, great day here for soccer in the upstate of South Carolina. And Greenville unable to put a goal in the back of the net the past two matches, but a respite for them, a 1 week break, maybe to figure things out on the offensive end. One of those players maybe looking to put a goal in the back of the net, Max Hemmings, who has been a key addition for Greenville after only joining the squad a few weeks into the season.
Yeah, Max Hemmings came in late April after finishing his career up at Georgia State and has provided a real offensive spark to this Triumph midfield. He scored a goal here in the U.S. Open Cup. It really should have opened his league account as well. Had multiple chances in the last game.
Yeah, many of those shots on goal. Pablo Hara, a brilliant save back on June 1st, the last time the Triumph played, gave Hara save of the week, and it was a doorstep opportunity for Hemmings. So right now, Hark's saying, hey, he's had those opportunities, now trying to find the back of the net, just like the entire Triumph side. Lansing on the other side, Lopez Espin, he's been the one really bagging the goals for Lansing against Greenville this season.
He's really going to be the bad guy for these Greenville Triumph fans tonight. You see here he scored in the opening game between these two teams and then celebrated in front of the Reedy River Riot, which resulted in a confrontation with the fan after the game that then resulted in a suspension.
Yeah, and Lopez Espin, you can see, also scored when the Triumph visited Cooley Law School Stadium earlier this season. So 2 of the 5 goals the Triumph have given up this season have been to Lansing and Lopez Espin. We'll see if they can calm down the Ignite here today. Triumph looking for 3 points at home right here on ESPN+, and it's coming up next. Welcome back into Greenville, South Carolina, as the Triumph rolling out there onto the campus of Legacy Early College, hosting the Lansing Ignite for the third and final time this season. Third time they'll meet up between the two squads. I'm Chris McCovic alongside Ross Davenport as we take a look at our starting 11s for tonight's matchup. And Greenville, some changes, just a few, one in the back line and one among the forwards.
Yep, Evan Lee and Paul Klaus out due to injury, and then Cameron Saul making his first start since the opener. And then this is his first appearance in a month. He appeared as a late sub in that 1-1 tie versus Lansing.
Yeah, so we'll see how he can impact, as Muhammad and Saul will most likely switch back and forth on those wings throughout the match. For Lansing, a few changes as well. Moshe Bani back up there among the forwards, and a change on the back line as well.
Yep, good to see Toomey back after a couple of games out. But no Grant Lillard. He spent 65 minutes on the field in the Fire's U.S. Open Cup loss to STLFC earlier this week.
Yeah, Koyfik back in there after missing some time recently, but they've been strong with Lillard on his loan from the Chicago Fire recently, so some depth among that three back for head coach Nate Miller as we look over at the Reedy River Riot. And it looks like just a great atmosphere, great weather today. A lot of storms popping up in the last few weeks throughout the country, but just a 10% chance of rain, Ross, so should be a fun one to watch.
Yeah, perfect evening. Obviously the last home game in a while for the Triumph with 3 road games coming up, so a good chance for the fans to get a game in before a few weeks off.
There's Jake Keegan standing over the ball, still the lead scorer for the Greenville Triumph with his 3 goals. Has scored 3 of the 5 this season for the Triumph, and as those that have followed the team all season know, that's been the issue so far. The offense, their defense has been spectacular, just giving up 6 goals overall, the best defense in the league, as Tormenta just giving up 1 more goal allowed other than Greenville, but those two clearly at the top defensively. And we're underway here from Greenville, South Carolina. Thank you for joining us here on ESPN+. Third and final time these two teams will meet this season. The second matchup at Legacy Early College. The first one coming back in week 2 of the season. And if you recall that one, you probably will always recall that one. 3 red cards, 1 retroactive suspension, and a 2-1 finish. Kevin Paulitz getting the winning goal in the 84th minute. Yeah,
plenty of excitement in that first home game for these Greenville fans, and hopefully they turn out in force tonight. Beautiful evening and a big game. They really need to win with this 3-game road trip coming up.
Yes, it has been all season. League One, the table is stacked right now. 4 teams at 12 points and Lansing at 13 points. Tucson getting a key win midweek to move up to 15 points in the 4th spot, at least for now. But both these teams will look to have their say by the end of the night, as that ball goes out of play, and it'll be a throw-in for Greenville.
Looks like Cameron Solar actually started up top in the first game of this season. The last time we saw him start, we'll start on the right-hand side here with Omar Mohammed on the left, perhaps.
Here's Ricky Lopez-Espin. 2 goals against the Triumph this season. Both that Lansing have scored overall against the Triumph this season.
We talked to John Harkson midweek about the press that Greenville sometimes employs. They employed it very effectively against Lansing in the first game. Lansing can be a bit susceptible to the press. They showed in that loss last weekend, that poor loss last weekend to Toronto, that can be a little susceptible to it. We'll see if John Harks continues to do it throughout this game.
Yeah, so much momentum, especially defensively for Lansing Ignite. Stefan Cleveland coming in, really solidifying the defense, the back line within the pipes. Great distributor overall and ability to become a leader for that back line, but just halted really as the momentum came to an end against Toronto. A 3-0 loss last Saturday as this goes off the foot of Muhammad and will be cleared downfield.
You and I talked, Chris, during the week about one thing Lansing's really missing is consistency. One place they haven't had it is in goal. They're on their 3rd goalkeeper of the year already. Meanwhile, Dallas J for Greenville has played every minute. It's taken a little while for Stephen Cleveland to settle down. He made some good stops last week, but also a couple of goals were probably partly his fault, if not mostly his fault. Hopefully he plays a little better tonight. It's a nice ball there.
Ball down the left flank. Hollingsworth can't get there, out of play, and Jay will take it in. But Dallas Jay may be the keeper really to watch in this match, and it's for the maybe indirect timing reasons behind his international duty. He spent the last 2 weeks with Guam, I should say week and a half after the scoreless draw with Tormenta back on June 1st. But Coach Hark's telling us he was sharp in his first training session midweek.
Yeah, I think he'll be fine physically. It's the mental side of things, going from a training session to a game after all that travel. Maybe those of you that have traveled that much in different time zones, it can be a little foggy. See how his decision making is earlier here. Jake Keegan with a bit of space on the right.
Keegan down the right flank, ball sent in and knocked up and out of play. Excuse me, that will just hang just enough to stay in play with Keegan. And they'll move it back over to Walker. Walker moving to the left flank with Tyler Polak. Settle into that spot as he has all season long. And over to Max Hemmings. And Hemmings, he likes to play a little bit deeper like that when he was with the Ocean City Nor'easters, a 6 or an 8 in the formation. But Harks says he likes to push him a little bit further up the field, and that's where he's found those runs straight into the box and has found these volley chances that he just cannot put home yet.
Yeah, I mean, having that defensive-minded presence of Aaron Walker in there, all poor class when he's healthy, allows Max Hemmings to get a little more freedom up the field. We see him starting off here a little deeper, though, with Walker ahead of him. See if that continues.
Kevin Paulitz going down there on the challenge. And now Rafa Mintzingen and Ricky Lopez Espin trying to capitalize. They can't, as Jay will sweep this downfield.
Dallas Jay wide awake there. Had to come out quickly. It was a poor back pass.
He had a clean sheet in the second leg of that duo against Bhutan, and he, of course, on side for Guam. And winning that World Cup prelim qualifier. As Muhammad knocks it on back. Here's Hemmings. First time these two teams met, Greenville won the possession battle, 62-. That ball goes out of play as Saul gets it knocked off of Saul. Stoneman back over to Cleveland. And here a look at the two keepers in today's match. And keep in mind, Cleveland, 3 of those goals he allowed were against Toronto on Saturday.
Yep, Dallas Jay hasn't had a whole amount of shots to save this year. His defense in front of him has been so good, but he's been good when he has been called into action.
Gomez. Serda working at left side. Here's Hollingsworth, who looks to be settling into that left wing back spot in the formation today. The goal for Lansing, as you saw in the pregame package, coming on the transition. The first time these two teams met, and then a header by Lopez Espin in the second matchup. That a 1-1 draw. But with 11v9 for at least a section of the match in the first time these two teams met. A lot of shots by Greenville in that match, 22 at the end of the day. It's skied on the cross. And singing under it, so is Bolin. He'll head it up over to Gomez, who tries to keep it in play. Hollingsworth after it. He'll lay it off. Here is Gomez on the side of Lansing.
You see Nick Moon starting on the right. He's played left forward most of the last few games in the absence of Toomey, but Nick Moon off to a great start this season. One player that Greenville really need to keep an eye on tonight.
Yeah, he's someone that Hark said they're really going to focus on marking. He had a great match against Madison, the 1-0 win a few weeks ago for Lansing. And he can do things like this, decipher the defense, moving across horizontally. We've seen him get shots off like that, but it was stopped pretty well by the Triumph defense there. Here's Gomez working his way into the box. He'll pass it on over to Hollingsworth. Has a bit of room maybe for a cross. Won't get it off initially, and he'll lay it off.
Yeah, Marshall Hollingsworth's a great story. He actually retired after last season with a consistent knee problem. Had a bunch of surgeries. Actually had his meniscus and cartilage transplanted last year, and he was pretty much done with soccer, but he's found himself a nice little spot here with Lansing and be able to reignite his career, I'll say.
He's been worked into the lineup as the season's gone on. It's been a key addition. As Koifik back into the starting 11 today. Almost loses it there, but he'll pass it around the back a bit. Gomez stepping up. Over to Lopez Espin, who loses it on the challenge, and it's back to Greenville. Bowling goes down, and the whistle is blown. It's a free kick now for the Triumph.
Bolin needs to be a little more careful trying to get that ball out the back there. It's grateful to see that hear that referee's whistle, excuse me. Went down very easily.
Greenville will work it down the left flank now in the 8th minute of action. Second matchup between these two teams. It was a 1-1 draw. And you could tell in the stat line, pretty even battle overall. The two teams really got down the flanks. They combined for 42 crosses. They combined also for 15 corner kicks. There's plenty of action going on, but overall just combining for 21 shots, so just over 10 apiece.
Yeah, Greenville loves to get that ball down the wing and get those crosses in. They haven't been obviously as effective as they perhaps could be this season, especially with their shot conversion rate. But Lansing have given up a bunch of goals this season, and perhaps this is the game with that coming off that rest week that Greenville finally got that offense going.
Laid off for Polak towards the end line, keeps it in play, sweeps it across, and tackled out of play. Corner kick coming for the home side.
Yep, set pieces are one spot. Triumph are really going to miss the height of Evan Lee tonight. Triumph aren't the tallest team, especially without him. Let's take another look at that. Nice play down the left side here. It's done by Cam Saul. John Harks loves to switch his wingers from one side to the other. We've seen that so much this season. Pop up on the left 1 minute and on the right next minute. We talked about it with him before games. He just kind of says it depends how he feels. If he sees a weakness that one of his guys can exploit, Omar Mohammed a little bit quicker, but Cameron Saul a lot stronger, I think. Let's see what we can get on the corner here.
Ball sent in, headed on, Seiler the chance and off the crossbar, saved by Cleveland. And this is the start of another match with a top performance by the opposing keeper for the Triumph.
I mean, it was right at him. He didn't have anything to do. It almost went in regardless, but Cole Seiler, anywhere else on the either side of Cleveland, that ball was in. Man, Greenville just can't catch a break at the moment.
Great stop there by Cleveland, and after the rebound, having to grab back onto the ball so it didn't get away from him. Pretty clear foul there, and it will go to the Lansing Ignite.
Listen, I'll give him credit. I'll give Cleveland credit. A big part of goalkeeping is being in the right position, and he certainly was there on that header. He drifted slightly back, and Cole Seiler had the goal at his mercy, but just couldn't find it.
Well, despite the size in some areas for Lansing, that was one of really the mishaps against Toronto in the 3-0 loss, where they Toronto, the home side, had 72% winning percentage on the aerial duels, and certainly that one in the box, of course, but it was a commonplace theme throughout the match. As Saul goes after this one, Cleveland will just knock it ahead to Fricky. You have to be honest as well, in the last match between these two teams, it was really a fluke goal that Ward was able to capitalize on as Mintzingen comes in, but a beautiful challenge there by Seiler, and they'll sweep it away.
Superb sliding tackle from Seiler, especially on this surface. It's not fun to go down on no matter what temperature it is out there. It's rough on your body.
Ward currently on the bench today. It was Fricky trying to clear a ball in the box that went off Ward and in. It got Ward Team of the Week honors that week. So he had a good couple weeks of performances in that section of the season. And a lot of injuries at the winger positions for this Greenville side, and looks to be getting healthy, especially with Saul in action, Edmundo Robinson on the bench, along with Chris Bermudez. And of course, Muhammad joining the squad as the season went on after he had some injury troubles early on. Polak working the left flank. Lay it off to Walker. Bolin pretty wide open on the right flank. They'll move deeper down the field with Muhammad. Muhammad looking for the cross. He'll send it in there. And a header away. The clearance to Hollingsworth. He'll help it along. Walker there outside the top of the box. Seiler. Muhammad. Good combo play so far for Greenville, but that'll be swept away just in time. Lopez Espin up ahead, but he'll lose it to Polak.
Yeah, Greenville trying to get a bit too tricky there. Perhaps a shot from outside would have been the right option, but Omar Mohammed continues to impress in this Greenville offense since getting healthy.
Saul looked for the chance from far out, deflected by Serda, and it goes back to Lansing. I think Saul initially there wanted Keegan, but Keegan realized he was offsides. Greenville certainly in this match early on, they're working the press. Oh, good job through traffic here. Nick Moon with a beautiful run, but loses it there as he was tripped up looking for an extra pass.
Yeah, it's the last thing John Harks wants to see is Nick Moon marauding through the midfield like that. Even though he didn't have much support that time, he's dangerous whenever he gets into that final third.
Lansing's so good on the wings as well. Players like Celso, who's on the bench today, Moshe Bane as well, who's in the match today, Nick Moon, Reese Williams, who's on the bench. It's a strong area of this squad as Koifik trying to get out of there. Gives up the ball in the final third. Gomez trying to keep it in place, sweeps it back. Jake Keegan here, up into the air, no one there on the back end. Hollingsworth trying to clear it, and they'll finally do just that down the field.
Jake Keegan perhaps just a little too unselfish there. He had some space to perhaps create a shot, but looked for the cross and no one there.
Select is the official ball supplier of USL League One and many of the finest leagues in the world. Since 1947, Select has been the leader in soccer ball quality and innovation. For the latest Select products and special offers, please visit SelectSportAmerica.com. Muhammad taking the select ball down the right flank to the end line. Sends it in, but knocked away once again. And Greenville peppering the crosses in so far. Nothing coming of them, but a free kick comes of that tackle. A dangerous one outside the box here for the Triumph.
Well, that free kick was all about the hard work of Dominic Boland, tracking back and making that nice sliding tackle, which you see right here, using his body well, and then around the top of Max Hemming's foot. She might have caught him just a little bit higher up on the leg, but dangerous spot here.
Hemming's up. Ready to help out on the set piece.
Yeah, we haven't seen Greenville strike too many from distance this season. Here's a man coming over here, though, that can with that left foot. Might perhaps look to curl it in towards the far corner of the 6-yard box, though. You never know, especially with the angle he's taking here. Tyler Pollock.
Pollock and Walker, the two captains. This time around, Walker making way for Pollock. He'll chip this one in down the left flank. Headed on there centrally, but deflected away. Volley by Gomez right into the arms of Cleveland. Technically a save there, as he was able just to easily take that in. Moshabani, a nice run. Boland taking care of it. And Gomez all the way back there to help clear it here in the 16th. Jay takes it over. Lansing a few times towards the Greenville box early on in this one, but so far the Triumph home side taking control of this match.
Yeah, it's been a good back and forth so far. Neither team really establishing a total foothold in these first 15 minutes. They both had Passage's possession. Obviously Greenville with the best scoring chance so far.
Ball sent over the top. Keegan after it, but right into the arms of Cleveland. These two teams, of course, they like their counter-attacking ability. Hey, Harks mentioned to us this week that Greenville was focusing on that in their off week, their counter-attack ability and combining in that area. Trying to make one here. Keegan back over, saw the chance, deflected top of the box. Second go around and skying it. Out of play is Gomez.
Yeah, Omar Mohammed was yelling for it at the far post, but Keegan decided to go with the cutback, but no real quality chance there. Poor giveaway by Lansing there. And Keegan had a couple of looks. Just a poor strike there by Cameron Saul. Didn't quite catch it cleanly, and then that one was into the stratosphere.
These two teams like to respond with the transition, and actually they're two of the three worst teams in League One in passing accuracy. For Greenville, just 73%. For Lansing, 76%. But it really lends to how they play. They like crossing the ball in, and obviously if that cross doesn't connect, it's going to be a pass against you.
No, Greenville had so many failed crosses in the first few games of this season that really set back that passing stat. It's just the way they play at the moment. I think they moved away from the crossing a little bit over the last couple of games, but seems to have some good impact down the wing so far tonight.
Yeah, building up possession down the field. Cleveland will take this one, the Dayton, Ohio native. Former draft pick by the Chicago Fire, on loan with Lansing Ignite. Making his 5th start. Hollingsworth. And a handball called against Lansing. Free kick to the Triumph. Standing over it is Seiler. Very versatile player this season for Greenville. He's played multiple times up in the midfield, but back to the back line with Evan Lee out with an injury.
Yeah, with such a small squad as Greenville has, losing a couple of players to injury really stretches you. Greenville only have the one healthy defender on the bench in the form of Ryong.
Yeah, Dominic Boland really has been that backup addition to the back line when needed. Back to Walker. And he'll service the right flank. Boland bringing it down the right back out of play off of Hollingsworth. And a throw in coming. Fans, the Lansing Ignite are proud to partner with the Solace Center with special $10 corner box seats for next Wednesday's Soccer for All game, with $5 from each ticket donated to this LGBTQ Resource and Community Center. Find out more about this event by visiting LansingIgnite.com. Another regional battle coming up for Lansing against Toronto FC2. Obviously, not a lot of success in their first two matchups against Toronto, with a 5-0 aggregate lead for Toronto, but certainly, if you look into the future of League One, should be a regional battle really to watch just across the border.
And that's really where the future of this league lies. You look where USL Championships succeeded with the amount of teams and the regional rivalries that have come out of that. Just look forward to it soon when they keep adding more League One teams. They've obviously got 3 teams coming in next season.
Yeah, the rivalries people really want to play up so far. Madison and Lansing, they've only played once, obviously, a 1-0 win for Lansing on the road. Greenville and Tormenta really the one to keep an eye on when the league got things going. They've played 3 times to this point, including one in Open Cup, and that will certainly help rivalry grow with so much on the line just in one match.
Yeah, listen, especially for these amazing supporters groups that have emerged from these teams. You're getting to travel as a group. You're only having to go a couple of hours. Road trips are the best.
Yeah, for Lansing, the assembly line taking in the match from Ozone's Brew House. As they have for a few matches this season as they make the rotations around the local pubs. Greenville, the Reedy River Riot, of course, on the left side of your screen.
Yeah, Ricky Lopez-Espin almost caused an actual riot with his celebration in front of them in the first game.
Moshabani nearly brought down. Hemmings trying to win it back. Still going is Serda and the Ignite. Finally brought down, they'll reset.
Yeah, one place Greenville is not going to try and let you beat them is down the middle. You saw there how many players Greenville had around that ball. They're going to make you go wide, try and get those crosses in.
Out of play via Boland, and it stays with Hollingsworth and the Ignite. So far, 5 shots for Greenville, 2 on target, none to this point registered by the Ignite. Lopez-Espin trying to hold up the ball. It's stolen away. Paulitz giving it off to the midfield. Hemmings, they'll just reset to the back with Dallas J.
Yeah, good work there by Kevin Paulitz. Your MVP so far this season, Chris, for the Greenville Triumph. What an impact he's had coming into the center of this defense. He actually played on the the fullback spot as well.
See, I was asked that question, who's your midseason MVP? And I just went to him. What sticks in my mind is the start to the season for this team where they had, what was it, two wins and a draw in their first 3 matches, and he had 2 times on Team of the Week. You have to pick someone from this defense. Tyler Pollock obviously affects the game defensively and offensively, but I just sticks in my mind some of those amazing stops that Paulitz has made as a center back this season.
No, he was a stellar player coming out of Wake Forest and obviously tried to make it through the Red Bull system and didn't. And that was a real chance to make his way up the USL ladder.
Paulitz on the ball now as he gives it off to Seiler. And certainly possession building here for Greenville as we head into the 22nd minute. Trying to stretch Lansing a bit, but they're not pressing too high today. It's what they were really known for after their quick start to the season against the Richmond Kickers. This is headed on, Cleveland off his line, and he'll take it in easily. Looking for some help downfield. Fans, follow the Greenville Triumph and the rest of USL League One all season long on ESPN+. Home to the USL, MLS, UFC, US Open Cup, and more. Join the over 2 million sports fans who have already discovered ESPN Plus and watch League One live every week. Sign up today at ESPNplus.com. Ball sent down the left flank. Rafa Minzingen will let it go out of play via deflection. And hey, for the fans that don't know out there, another tournament also going on, Copa America. That's on ESPN Plus as well.
Amazing value, ESPN Plus for only $5 a month. I mean, Copa America is going to be a great tournament. Obviously, Brazil opened yesterday with a win after a bit of a lackluster first half, and Colombia and Argentina playing right now, 2 of the giants of South American soccer.
US Open Cup continues. St. Louis FC. Also New Mexico United moving on from USL Championship. Ball trickling in. Here's Moshabani, but a good tackle by Pollock and then swept away for Greenville. Here comes Keegan. Through ball down the left flank. Saul after it, tackled out of play. And it goes to the Triumph.
Much to the disgust of the Lansing backline. Great tackle there by Brandon Fricky. It was a nice ball through. It looked from Keegan to Saul, but Fricky was over there with a good physical tackle. It actually looked like it came off Saul. Like he had the bench certainly agreed as well, but no call.
It looked like Nate Miller and the Lansing bench there not happy. At least trying to urge the players on back there. as Keegan was wide open there for a moment to do as he wished.
I thought he perhaps could have taken the ball on a little further himself, but still a decent ball through to Cam Soul. More space here.
Keegan, Muhammad, cutting through the middle of the defense, still alive, goes down, edge of the box, waved off, but a second chance coming. And Saul nearly finding the back of the net. Muhammad wanted the call just edge of the box. Matthew Corrigan not giving it. And Saul said, hey, let's keep on playing.
You know, Muhammad dangerous when he's got that, when he's facing goal, can got all kinds of moves here. He was certainly helped down by Fricky with the outstretched hand. And Cam Saul, yeah, he's kind of got it caught under his feet a little bit and couldn't get his right foot around it to put it in the open net. It's kind of the story of how this Triumph season's gone so far, unfortunately. 5 goals.
Hey, good on Saul there, because it looked like everyone else involved in the play was making their case for or against a call on the edge of the box, and he was the only one that kept going, got a shot off because of it. Moshabani almost got a shot off there, but Seiler wins it on back. Assistant referee will put up the flag on that one, and it is a free kick going the way of the Triumph.
Yeah, Cam Saul perhaps a little rusty. He hasn't played much at all since the beginning of the season, since that start. Let's take another look at this foul here. Tyler Polak makes everything look so casual. Nick Moon with just a slight shove in the back. That's all it took.
Moon goes down, no call. Polak continues. Serda wins it back. Somehow that stayed in play. And Koifik will give it right on back to Politz. The Triumph certainly doing a lot of passing, good possession, but not where they want to be on the field. As Walker will enter the opponent's half, but give the ball right away. Greenville currently the lowest shot percentage in USL League One at just under 5%, but points per game they're up at 1.2. Lansing has 1.18. And 1.2 tied for 5th overall in the league.
Yeah, either of these two teams with the other games going on tonight could drop a couple of spots if they fail to win, and some teams behind them is so tight in the middle of those standings.
That's what's made League One so unique early on. Teams so good at home, but on the road just not happening. It's only been 11 road victories out of 53 matches. Muhammad finds a lane, driving towards the box. Staying with it, but gives it straight away. And it's back centrally with Moshabani.
Yeah, Hemmings was making a good run, and Mohammed didn't quite see him, I don't think, out the corner of his eye. Just tried to do a little too much. He's going to get back and work some on the defensive side.
And one other League One match going on right now. It's Chattanooga and Richmond up at City Stadium, 0-0 in the 25th. Falls to Gomez. 2 more matches coming up at the 8 p.m. slot. Madison, Tucson, and Tormenta, Orlando City B. A lot of movement in the table potentially by the end of the night, as this will finish off our week in League One action. Ricky Lopez Espin driving left side, can't find anybody though. And I feel like this has been Lansing's issue to this point. They get the ball up with Lopez Espin, but no one really running in off of him, nowhere to go. Right flank now, the through ball comes. Moon in on it and will be met by Polak. Here is Serda. That's the outside, looking for the cross. Polak the tackle, and it's a goal kick in the end, going the way of Greenville.
Another great tackle by Tyler Polak. This battle between Polak and Moon, or Polak and Moshabani, whichever one of those two is pushing forward, is going to be an interesting one to watch all night.
Jay sends this off down the right flank in the 29th minute. Headed out of play by Boland, and Hollingsworth looking to take advantage of that quickly. Quickly, top of the box, Moshabani, quick turn, looking for the chance, still going into Lopez Espin. The chance and knocked away out of play by Seiler. Nearly the same spot that Lopez Espin scored in the previous matchup at Legacy Early College.
Yeah, more good defensive work by Cole Seiler. Good first touch by Espin. Took him away from goal a little bit, but a perfect lunge by Seiler. Always a risk when you leave your feet in the box, but it was well timed there.
Lansing with the set piece. Moshabani, he's going to send this one in on the service. Koyfik with an early run. Sends it near post. Stoneman flicks it back through. Still floating around, knocked away by Boland. Here's Moshabani, second go around on this one. Sends it in there, headed on and in. Lansing Ignite up 1-0 on the road. A wide open header.
Yeah, and the Greenville Triumph defenders are blaming each other for that one. How Nick Moon was that wide open, I have no idea. It's the one guy, him and Lopez Espin, you can't forget where they are. And a bit of chaos in the box, and it seems like the Greenville Triumph defenders went to sleep. There's a good left-footed ball in by Moshabani, and Nick Moon's going to score from there 9.5 out of 10 times.
Boland looked like he wasn't marking a man there, maybe losing Moon there. We'll have to see again, but Moon nonetheless wide open. Moshabani finding his man. And for Nick Moon now, his third goal of the season and first since that game winner against Madison on the road. 1-0 to Lansing. And Greenville fans at home, this is how things started back on April 6th. It was 1-0 Lansing early on. And here in the 31st, it starts the same way. Lansing this season when scoring first is 3-1-1. And Greenville, when conceding first, 1-4-0. So that one on either side, the win for Greenville, the loss for Lansing in those categories was this matchup previously back in April. So we'll see how things turn around from here. But certainly, you have to be happy if you're Lansing. After all that possession for Greenville, they strike on the corner kick.
Yeah, it's the center back combination is so important in soccer. When you've had the combination of Evan Lee and Pollitt's playing together, for the majority of the season, and then that combination is broken up. That's when the communication breaks down. Perhaps Kevin Pollitt expected Evan Lee to be there, and I think it was Cameron Soul that was back there instead.
Serda back with it. Moon knocks it back to Serda. Koyfik there taking a brief moment with a squat. Not sure how much we should look into that one as a powerful header there. Brings it on back with the Lansing back line. It's something to watch with the right center back out there for Lansing. Took a moment there to stretch out. Here in the 33rd. He'll take it in down the right flank. Plays it over the top. Wide open run here for Moon. He'll send it centrally. All the way through to Rafa Mintzingen. Comes over, chance coming, saved by Jay. Reaching up with the paw and tipping it over. Beautiful chance built by Lansing.
Yeah, far too much room allowed here for Rafa Mintzingen at the edge of the box. It's actually a nice little touch to get him past Don Boland and solid strike, but Jay says nay and shows that he's plenty awake. No jet lag there.
Big save by Jay. And another corner kick here for Lansing. We know what happened last time. Moshabani once again will take it. Ball sent in centrally and over everyone, and this will trickle out of play. Question is throw-in or corner kick. And it looks like it will be a throw-in the way of the Triumph. Tumi Moshabani out for a few games because of injury, but back now and has an assist already tonight. Obviously looking to contribute a bit more. The South African, previously with Lansing United, Charlotte Eagles as well in League 2 of the USL. Koyfik down the right flank with Moon. The early goal scorer, if you're just joining us in the last minute. Header into the back of the net. Oshabani, nice through ball there towards Hollingsworth. Boland has to deal with it. He does just that. The Scotsman will give it over to his keeper, but doesn't go far enough. Minzingen cutting in, still going top of the box, nearly same spot he got that chance away from before. But this time covered pretty well. Lopez Espen tried to knock it over to Moshabani. Instead, a little bit of ticky-tack here played by Greenville. Given straight back, Minzingen trying to make a play out of it against Pollock. Tough spot here for the left back. Out of play, and it's back to the Ignite.
Greenville looked a little bit shaken by that goal. Trying to ping things around at the back before clearing it. And Dallas J with a almost half clearance, I should say. Looking a little bit shell-shocked at the moment.
Well, here's the thing to remember as well. As the throw-in comes in, bounces. Seiler heads it, and this will be cleared downfield. Last, maybe most recent half of the season, it's been Lee and, of course, Paulitz as the two center backs. We haven't seen a change there in quite a while. How much of that leadership has come from Lee, the organization, items like that, and how much has changed with Seiler back into that rotation in the back. And it's to be seen how really that affects the match. Muhammad, Boland, deflection. Hollingsworth saves it right on the line. Deflected out of play. Goal kick coming for Cleveland.
Yeah, I mentioned that on the goal. You know, we saw those half clearances that come back out. You know, Evan Lee's that guy that I think is organizing everybody and marking up. And to leave a guy that wide open, you had to think there was a breakdown in communication somewhere. It's disappointing.
Looking for the latest USL League One news and content? Follow at USL League One on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram for exclusive access and updates. Keep an eye out for Save of the Week this week. That J save may make the cut, depending on what we see from around League One here tonight with 3 other matchups going on. Already had 2. We'll take you through the highlights of those from the Wednesday action at halftime. An amazing comeback by Toronto FC2 against North Texas, 3-3 result. And FC Tucson getting the win 2-1 on the road at Orlando City B. They'll work the left flank. And now FC Tucson all of a sudden in 4th place of the table. I feel like they've come out of nowhere. They've played 11 matches, 15 points to this point. So if Greenville gets a win today, they'll tie them at that 4th spot. Lansing looking to get into the playoff spot. Sent through, Moshabani the chance, and saved by Jay. Cleared by the defense, and Mohammed takes over.
It almost looks like the Greenville defenders are saying, you do it, no, you do it. And nobody ended up tackling Tumi Moshabani there and got a little stab on goal. And good save by Dallas J.
It was all Greenville the first 15 to 20 minutes of this match. And now Lansing really taking over. Some momentum from that goal on the road. So Greenville, they've given up 7 goals this season now. 3 of them have been to Ignite.
Yes, and this Lansing Ignite team has plenty of talent. It's just a question of the consistency. Some injuries have hurt them. And they had a couple of additions come down from the Fire, which has helped strengthen them in a couple of spots. And this team definitely to keep an eye on the rest of the season. Haven't quite got things going yet, but especially in these last 8 matches, got off to a good start. But they're just like in this league, I said to you before the game, any team can beat any team on a given day. We've seen how tight these standings are, but away wins are hard to come by. And Lansing off to a good start here on the road.
Boland sends in the cross, brought down, Gomez falling down. Deflection, corner kick to the Triumph.
It's better from Greenville as Gomez gives the thumbs up for that cross. It was a good knockdown, and actually good bit of defensive work in the end by Lansing to get it away for a corner and stop Gomez getting a quality shot on goal. Let's have another look at it here.
A good find by Boland.
Yep, Koifik just did enough to force the ball away.
Corner for the Triumph.
Aaron Walker, both arms up. Ball sent in, falls all the way through. Here's Saul. Loses it there on the challenge by Moon, and it's a throw-in coming for the home side.
Yeah, good delivery in by Walker, but you hate to see that ball bounce where it did 8 yards from goal. Somebody should be getting on the end of that.
Boland comes up to take it, Limestone College player. Pollock gets it to this one. Far post, Keegan on. Header by Hemmings. Oh, the trend continues. Middle of the box, you couldn't get more open than that. And 2 point-blank chances saved by Cleveland in this match.
Yeah, great header back across by Jake Keegan, turning into the provider. You think if he'd have had that chance, Hemmings had, it would have been in the back of the net. But again, it just seems like the wrong guy seemed to be getting on in the end of the quality chances and not being able to put into way. Max Hemmings, that's probably the 4th in the last couple of games that he really should have put in the back of the net.
Well, in that situation, though, if you're Keegan, do you want to take that shot on a really tight, tough angle for you and the keeper to read? Or do you give that off to a point-blank spot where it seemed like Hemmings got all of that, but it went directly into the middle?
No, it was the perfect header back across by Keegan, and Hemmings, all he had to do was get it either side of Cleveland and just couldn't do it. You know, when you're down 1-0 and the goals really haven't been coming all season, you start to wonder, you know, in the back of your head, can we get back in this game?
1-0 to Lansing. Early on here, the Moon header off the cross by Moshabane. And the 41st minute, Greenville looking to strike before the break. 0-0 up at City Stadium between Richmond and Chattanooga in the 38th. Right now in League One, it's a race to catch up with Tormenta and North Texas SC at the top of the table. Toronto making their case throughout the last 2 weeks for that. As this ball goes flying on by Minsingen. A brilliant run there, a chance to get to the box. Ball out of play, and it will go to the Triumph. Slinging on back to Boland.
See there, Reedy River right, in good voice. Must pack that stand today, it's great to see.
Headed up by Stoneman. Keegan a swing at it. And a foul called against the Greenville forward as he battled for it against Fricky.
Brandon Fricky got away with a bit of too much arm action there on Keegan, but went the other way.
Ball over the top, bit too far for Rafa. So far, both teams, plenty of chances, obviously, in this match. 8 for Greenville, 3 on target. 5 for Lansing, also 3 on target. At this point, both teams up over 82% in passing accuracy and pretty split on possession.
Yeah, other than the goal, it's been a pretty even half. Greenville started to play their way back into it here the last 5 minutes, but these quality chances just not going, and it's going to come back to haunt them, you have to think.
Foul called against Lansing. Greenville now moving down the field. A chance here to maybe make something brew in the box, and you have to say there's nothing too wrong with the Triumph the way they've played this season. It's just the finishing. They create they're probably one of the top teams in the league at creating chances in the box. We've heard week after week many coaches say that they don't get their due in these situations. As Pollock sends us in, maybe they do here. Headed up, still in the box. Hemmings heads it down, still floating. Muhammad there, but finally cleared down the field. But you look at defense, creating chances from the wings and centrally. They have it all. It's just putting it in the back of the net.
Yeah, as you said, almost every coach we talk to says Greenville, statistically and from the video they watched, that they're one of the best teams in the league, but you just can't put the ball in the back of the net. In the end of the day, if you can't do that, you're going to find yourself out of the playoff picture quickly. And the way things are packed at the moment, these 3 road games coming up, Greenville could be looking up from the bottom if things don't go right quickly here tonight.
On the road this season, Lansing 2-3-2. Greenville at home 3-2-1. So big to win at home, and League One early on in its history. Bolin sends that ball in, headed away by Stoneman and helped up and along. And 2 of those 11 League One road victories among all teams have come at Legacy Early College. North Texas SC and Richmond both getting 1-0 victories against Greenville this season in Greenville, South Carolina.
Yeah, Greenville have a short road trip, or relatively short, as things go in League One, to Chattanooga next, and then Orlando City B, who are playing a lot better of late, and obviously the red hot North Texas SC to close things off before coming back here in mid-July.
Yeah, coming up at the half, we'll take a look at North Texas SC as well. Sweeping player of the month and coach of the month the past few weeks for League One, and deservingly so. They've been sort of fantastic. And Arturo Rodriguez, I have to say, finally getting the credit he's been due for so long, but he's been in the shadow of Ricardo Pepi, deservingly so, for quite a while.
Listen, that team has a ton of talent. There's a reason these guys are on the radar of it. Well, let's just say on the books of FC Dallas.
Yeah.
The question was always going to be just the age and the experience, and it hasn't shown. And they've been the best team, and they've been the best team in the league. Tormenta just far behind them, but those two quite a ways ahead of everybody else so far.
Yeah, Tormenta giving up 7 goals this season, just like Greenville to this point. Of course, when Tormenta's really going on the transition, counterattack, combining well, I don't know anybody that can stop them. And that's the same way for North Texas. 2 teams that are built very alike overall.
No, quick ball, speed, youth, and a solid defensive presence. Again, Tormenta a little bit better on the back line than North Texas, but North Texas can outscore you anytime.
Left side, they'll try it with Pollock. As you can see, 1 minute stoppage time here in the upstate of South Carolina. Out of play. It stays with the Triumph, maybe getting something to go here just before the whistle. Out of play, and it goes the other way, and I'm sure we'll shortly hear the whistle. Greenville made the comeback back on April 6th. We'll have to see if they can do the same here today. And there's that halftime whistle. Not much in the final few minutes. It was all Greenville to start, but Lansing igniting things as the match went on. And it was Moshe Bani finding Moon on a wide open header on a cross. That's the difference. And just like last time around, it's Lansing on top as we move forward into the match. Coming up at halftime, we'll take a look at the midweek highlights from around League One. And of course, take you around the league, look at some of those headlines as we take a look at some of the top action from the match as we hit the break. It's 1-0 Lansing Ignite from Greenville, South Carolina. Moshe Bani finding Moon. This time, can Lansing lock down the clean sheet and get the 3 points on the road? We'll have to find out coming up in the second half, but stay with us. Plenty of halftime coverage coming from Legacy Early College. Welcome back into the upstate of South Carolina. Lansing up 1-0 on the road here as we hit the break here on ESPN+. Now let's take a look at the midweek highlights, Ross, from around League One. It started with an early matchup, 11 a.m. for school day, between North Texas SC and Toronto FC2. And what a matchup we had. 6 goals in total, the most in a match in League One so far this season. And Demos was the name to know.
Yeah, kids were in full voice here. On the morning of soccer, they saw a great game.
Demos started things off early on with that strike as he got the ball knocked ahead to him, and a beautiful finish to put up the away side 1-0 early on. From there, it was the transition attack of North Texas that really got things going. And before Demos' day was done, he would have this second one and a third for the second hat trick of League One history. The other one, Ricardo Pepe, his teammate. A crazy ball that came in there, and you think that Dante Seeley maybe was looking for the pass, but Demos, hey, he'll take a goal on that one.
The old Chas cross-come shot. Yeah, nice finish in the end, but perhaps shouldn't have gone in for his hat-trick, Damos. It looked like North Texas was cruising to another victory here. Keeper again should have perhaps done a little better there.
Kevin Silva letting that one on by, and that was just over a minute after the previous one. 3-0 North Texas. They're flying home with 3 points. Maybe not. Toronto FC2 would have their say. Tariq Muhammad and Avaye there winning the ball back and getting it inside the box and doing enough to put in a dangerous situation. Perusa knocks it over, and Griffin Dorsey out of nowhere comes up and knocks it home. It's 3-1. It's the home side fighting back with those kids in attendance, bringing the energy there. Perusa into the box, and then Serbal. A strong strike. Aviles goes down there knowing maybe should have had some better contact there. Schaffelberg puts it in. No, North Texas on the bicycle kicked the save. Maybe they're going to survive this one and get the 3 points on the road. But wait, late on, Dorsey down the right flank, Endo into the box, and it trickles home. And Toronto makes the improbable comeback and a 3-3 draw. And what a matchup it was.
Yeah, what a day for the kids. They're going home, told their parents they got to see 6 goals. Nobody won, but what a morning in soccer that was.
It's been a great early rivalry so far in League One history. Orlando City B, FC Tucson, because of this victory, they now 4th place in playoff position as of entering today. And Jamel Cox getting a nice little lucky bounce there into the back.
Yeah, keeper shouldn't be getting beaten there from 30-plus yards out, but found the back of the net.
Just a few moments later, FC Tucson looking to extend their lead as the header back over, and then finally falls to Venter. He puts it home from the back line up into the box. He'll get a goal, and it's a 2-0 lead to the away side.
Yeah, nice left-footed strike. Keeper again probably should have done a little better, but the ball was well struck.
Orlando City B trying to make the comeback as the night came over them. Drawing the foul there and the penalty kick. Looking to get one back from the spot as Simas went down.
Yep, simple shove in the back there, and that was always going to be a penalty. And almost saved, but the power was there enough to get the ball in the back of the net.
Yeah, it wasn't Eji Madu getting the start there. He was with his native club LAFC as Thiago Souza put it in the back of the net. But wasn't enough as Orlando City B would fall. FC Tucson now 4th on the table. Here it's Lansing up 1-0 at the break. And right now we'll have a special look into the USL. Let's see what Kelsey Steele has in store on the latest episode of Steele Sometime.
Coming to you from USL headquarters, this is Steele Sometime. Here's the USL's Kelsey Steele.
Let's hop into the West. Out of week 14, the West was interesting this week. I want to start over in San Antonio and talk about this academy impact that's going on right now. For Gallegos, if you have not watched that goal, you need to go back into the highlights and watch that, because this is a 17-year-old kid who created that entire play. He made that run. He demanded to get the ball back. Barmy hit him up, and he, made that one touch around the defender, finished it off, and it was gorgeous. A 17-year-old looking like a 25-year-old. And
put the team on his back.
Put the team on his back. How about Phoenix's commitment to Dollar Beer Night?
Undefeated.
If you thought that we were going to go through the show today without mentioning Dollar Beer Night, you are severely mistaken.
Absolutely, and for good reason. I mean, holy cow, not only is Dollar Beer Night absolutely a thing, but the goals on goals on goals, and Adam John, I will stand by this opinion. I will die on this hill. That should have been SportsCenter #1 out of the weekend. 60-yard ball over the top. Not even a touch. He just lofts it over the goalkeeper. I saw that and watched SportsCenter, and I was like, where is it? Okay, it's not number 3, it's not number 2, it's not number 1. I was about to just start tweet storming at SportsCenter on Twitter and just let them know, y'all got that wrong, man.
But elsewhere in USL Championship play, we had a few streaks end this weekend. Talking about over New Mexico and, unfortunately, Tampa Bay Rowdies. Their notable streak comes to an end.
I think if I'm the Rowdies, I have to see this at least as somewhat of a win. So follow me a little bit here.
Okay.
Brown to find Lacroix. Now it's Musa. Oh, what a hit! Ryan Brown. Oh, that is electric from Phoenix on the break. Shot. Post wide.
Greenville, South Carolina, as we take a look at news and notes from around League One. And as I mentioned just before we hit halftime, North Texas SC taking the cake as the Coach and Player of the Month awards were announced.
Kids, and there's Dallas J there with his long road trip to Guam and Bhutan.
Not too much League One action going on last week, so Toronto FC2 featuring as most of the jerseys there on the Team of the Week.
No, deservedly so. Again, Perosa with the goal and the assist, and Susie, your Player of the Week.
Yeah, fantastic finishes for him, helping out Orlando City B to climb the table, of course. As we check in with the standings from League One, so right now a tight battle in the middle of the pack, but Tucson edging the other teams for the 4th spot.
Yeah, luckily for Greenville and Lansing, Richmond and Chattanooga are playing each other tonight, so they both can't get 3 points. So Lansing and Greenville will only drop 2 spots. Whoever fails to win that game, if Richmond and Chattanooga have one of those two get a result. But yeah, packed in the middle there, no doubt.
Looking to climb into the playoff consideration. As you can see, a midweek matchup coming up once again between Lansing and Toronto. Lansing still unable to score on Toronto this season.
Well, get a chance there in their 3rd matchup. And what seems like it's been a week, but yeah, a lot of these teams played each other. Lansing especially have played Richmond, Greenville, I think Toronto almost 10 times total. Well, not 10 times, but 8 or 9 times, yeah.
Power rankings in. Orlando City B climbing up as they've gotten a few results of late.
Yeah, Lansing and Greenville could jump up there to perhaps even 4th if they win this one.
Yeah, looking to climb the table. Those released every Monday at USLLeague1.com. As we take a look now at the scoreboard going on, and we talked about those 2 Wednesday matchups. Currently scoreless over at City Stadium, and 2 more matchups about to get going.
Yep. Forward Madison needs some pick up some points there at home.
We'll be back with second half coverage coming up next. Welcome back here into Greenville, South Carolina. 1-0 to the away side as we get things going in the second half. We'll start with our first half highlights here from the campus of Legacy Early College. And it was Greenville really getting things going early on, but course, it's Lansing on top at the break.
Yeah, I think all John Hart's can be doing is shaking his head at halftime. I mean, that one really should have gone in. It was a good save in the end by Cleveland, but the ball was right at him by Cole Sally. Saw him hold his head in his hands, and just another scoring chance goes begging.
Yeah, there were 2 key chances to know about for Greenville. That one and some more along with it. This one not really turning into much, as it was Saul getting the shot off.
Yeah, a little bit scuffed, and then that ball was scooped over. He was on the run. It's always going to be a tough chance to get that one on goal for Cam Saul.
Ball down ahead here for Keegan. Muhammad found it, and he's had a few good runs towards the box, being covered pretty well. Didn't find the foul there. Saul was finding the back of the net as he kept the play going.
I think Cam Saul did the best he could there. You can see he was gassed, and nice run by him. There was a slight hint of a push in the back, but no call. And it seemed like the Greenville defense almost stopped, and Cam Saul just inches away from his first goal of the season.
Left for more to be desired, but not for Lansing. As they fought through this corner kick, Greenville thought they had it clear, but there's Moshe Bani right back where he started at the corner flag. Flies this one in.
Yeah, Don Boland, it was a poor clearance in the end, and it perhaps should have been Don Boland that was marking at the back post here. He was looking around to see what was going on and blame Cam Saul, but it was probably his own responsibility to be marking Nick Moon on that one.
Moon with his 3rd tally of the season there. Put up the away side 1-0, and that's where we stand currently. And Lansing, they keep firing there. Some great chances. Rafa here putting one off.
Yeah, that's a good save by Dallas J. Had to get up quickly to parry that one over. Good strike by Minsigan.
Jay getting a good stop there as we check out our halftime stats. Great chances by both sides. Pretty split overall, but of course for Greenville, so many chances right on the edge.
Yeah, they've completely been in this match. It's been a pretty even matchup other than the score. And again, I think John Harks just has to, the frustration continues. There's not much more he can do. They've had an extra week of practice and putting balls in the net and working on the counterattack, as he said, and just still yet to result in a goal. It's got 45 minutes, though. We saw what happened last time these two met here. Just need a bit of magic. Last time it was from Gomez to Keegan with the quickly taken free kick. Let's see if we can get a piece of magic somewhere here in these final 45.
They got the momentum going early on with that equalizer, and then it was Paulitz off a corner kick that finished 3 points for Greenville at home. As they break the huddle, looking to find the equalizer.
Yeah, we talked about Greenville's shortage of defensive options on the bench, but they do have plenty of offensive options in Bermudez, Gadiri, Robinson, Ward. You know, guys bring a little different attacking emphasis to this team, and we'll see how long John Harks waits to make some changes.
Really game changers as well. Bermudez can break down those 1v1 opportunities, and we've seen Travis Ward have the ability to really stretch opposing defenses down the wing. Lopez Espin over the ball, and he'll send it on back to his side. A second 45 on the board here from Greenville, South Carolina. Second 45, the Triumph looking to equalize. Lansing trying to find another clean sheet this season. It would be their 3rd overall. Saul after this one. Koyfik handles it. And Lansing working it around the back. Lansing, of course, 3 1-1 wins scoring first. That one loss coming against Greenville back on week 2. Serda keeps this alive. As Polak and Moshabane now finding some room after all that flicking around of the ball, and Jay will clear it back to midfield. Hemmings goes down. Advantage played, and not sure how the advantage was played there. The whistle was blown, and it's back to Lansing. And there's a look at Dallas Jay. Some good stops in that first half, but obviously Moon finding the back of the net on that open header, and it's going to Greenville, actually.
I'm not sure what happened there. Matt Carrigan looked like he was playing advantage and then stopped the play for looking initially an offside call, but ended up going back to Greenville. I'm not sure. Maybe the foul was before the offside. I don't know. Either way.
Well, we are about 90 seconds into the second half, maybe confused about which way the teams are going. I know I have been when I used to play soccer, but Seiler takes over, and Greenville will head from right to left. And Lansing from left to right. Saul down the right flank. Here's Muhammad. Keeps it in play. Still alive. The end line tiptoeing in there. Chance coming on the edge. No call on the penalty. Polak takes it in. Back to Gomez, and Greenville resetting. Some late contact there. We'll have to take another look at it when we have a moment. As it's knocked away by Lansing and back to midfield.
Yeah, it was good work initially from Cameron Soul, and just a bit of chaos in the box, and it almost looked like a Greenville foot would get on the end of it. I'll have to take another look at that. Referee was a good distance away from the collision. Not sure how good of a view he had on it with the amount of bodies in the box. Let's take another look. Good work from Saul. Good, and more excellent work from Mohammed. Continues with his quick feet. One nice little dink around the defender there. And ball was played in, whiffed by Gomez, I think it was, and Hemmings with a. Looked like he got shoved in the back. Again, referee was a good 15 yards away from it.
Really a chaotic scene there in the middle of the box. A lot of bodies in a small area.
I think when you get that many bodies in there, contact's going to be inevitable. Perhaps referee claimed it was accidental, perhaps.
Ball down the right flank by Seiler. Stays in play, somehow swept away by Stoneman. It's out. A throw in coming for Muhammad and Greenville.
Good work there down the right by Don Boland to get to that ball. Cross it in. Not sure what referee Gargan's telling Don Boland there. Something. Perhaps he was trying to get a couple of yards of advancement down the field.
Headed on by Hemmings. Polak chips it down the right side. No one really there, though, for the triumph. As Lansing will look to respond. Moshabane.
Polak's out of position. He's got back now, though. Luckily, Tumi Moshabane, I don't think, realized it and held up play enough for the former Creighton fullback to get back.
Gomez looking for some help in the midfield. Lansing so far this season, 14 goals. They were averaging 1.2 per game entering today's match. 7 of those goals came in the first 3 matches of the season. They're a team that haven't had a lot of success scoring lately. Certainly finding one here. Down the right flank. Moon. That's the outside, trying to get around Hemmings. Brief stop and off of Polak, out of play. It's going to be a throw-in for the away side.
Yeah, good physical battle there. You see the size difference. Max Hemmings is one of the bigger, more athletic players on Greenville. I think Moon just towers over him. So he might have picked up a bit of a knock.
Nick Moon, the Wisconsin native. 2-time Team of the Week player in League One. Moshabane. Near him, Serta also trying to get to the ball here in the 51st minute. Moon chips this one into the box. Jay comes out and grabs it. The Triumph also a important match for them in this regard. They're on the road the next 3 matches. They were at home for a majority to start the season as well, so not going to see as many home games as the season goes on. As the call comes on the back end, that collision.
That was a big one.
Saul still down.
More of a 50-50 ball. Cam Saul has already dealt with some injury problems this season's down. Looks like he's holding his head.
It's already, like Ross was talking about, Miami needs to see one of those offensive substitutions.
Oof. Yeah, good physical tackle by Brandon Frick. He just came in a little high, it looked like, with the hands or arms at the end. We have some blood here.
52nd minute, 1-0 Lansing. Fans, the USL unveiled its elite youth platform, USL Academy. This allows clubs at all levels across the USL to develop its local youth and compete at the highest level across the United States, including, of course, the USL Academy Cup. For more information, visit uslsoccer.com/academy. It's all up. Good sight to see. He'll make his way to the sideline with the trainer.
Yeah, we mentioned a few games ago the USL asking about perhaps bringing an extra temporary substitute, an extra substitute for head injuries like this. It would allow a player like Cam Saw to get looked at for a potential concussion and allow a player to come in for him temporarily, something we already have in rugby. It'd be interesting to see if they do get the option to be allowed to do that.
Quickly down the left flank, Lansing trying to capitalize, out of play, and it will go to the Ignite. Took a few seconds to get that call going. Lopez Espin will send it around.
And that probably evens the questionable throwing calls up after the one we had in the first half down in that end.
Moon. And we'll move back to the top with Koifik. Lansing here, seems like they've slowed down the pace just a bit into the second half, up 1-0. Moshabani tries to find an angle.
Good defensive work there by Kevin Politz, though, not allowing Moshabani to turn.
Out of play, and just like that, back to the Triumph as they'll take it in. Triumph generating 15 shots, 5 on goal against Tormenta 2 weeks ago in their last match. Again, unable to find the back of the net. And so far this evening as well, with 8 shots, 3 on target. Would have been a good look there for Keegan, but couldn't handle the opportunity as it deflects back over to Cleveland.
Yeah, just a real heavy touch there by Jake Keegan. I think he might have seen Cleveland way off his line after the header and perhaps looked up, and first touch just wasn't there. If he'd been able to control it, he would have had a look to lob Cleveland, but wasn't to beat.
This Lansing defense certainly improving over the last few matches. Cleveland inserts himself into the lineup over the last few weeks, and it's been a big step up. If they're on track for a clean sheet here, it would be their third and last 4 matches. Those are all 3 of the ones they've had this season.
Yeah, the addition of Grant Lillard from the Fire has been a big one. Obviously not playing tonight, but Lansing haven't looked like they've missed a step, other than a couple of free headers allowed that didn't go in for Greenville.
The Toronto match last week for them, it was a 3-0 loss, but they did give up 2 goals late in that one. Gomez can't get there before Moon. Falls to Walker. Mohammed takes a tumble. Free kick now for the Triumph. Mohammed getting in on the action as the game goes on. Westerville, Ohio native, winning the foul.
Yeah, we'll see if perhaps a set piece can unlock this Lansing defense. Tyler Pollack here. Float one in towards the penalty spot, see if we can get a knockdown and perhaps a second ball.
Pollack into the box, headed away there just in time. Out of play, and Triumph will take the throw in. Gomez will lay it off. And Tyler Pollack take this one short. Flicks it on back. Oshabani, interception straight away. Out of play, we'll see which way this one goes. Back to the Triumph. Walker. And Hemmings works it on back. So it looks like, at least in this match, Hemmings is acting as that final line of the midfield, working with the center backs. Paul Clowes out tonight from the 18, but he and Walker were in those slots to start the season.
Nice ball.
Nicely weighted down there by Bolin, but in the end, out of play, couldn't keep it there. And a throw in for Lansing. Hemmings brings it down, it'll trickle through. Saul can't get there in time. They force the mistake, and the high press here works for the Triumph. Pollock will come over and take it. Former St. Louis FC player. Over to Paulitz.
I think Carlos Gomez a little more involved. Here he is now. He can create some magic when he does, but he tends to disappear for stretches of games at a time. And he's really that midfield link in the center of the mid, the offensive spark. And Hemmings coming up a little bit at times, but Carlos Gomez really needs to get a little more involved.
Falls there. Saul, miscommunication, and he doesn't get to it. And I feel like that's maybe, we've talked about this with John Hartz as well this season, maybe the difference between Greenville offensively and some of the other sides in League One is that they don't have that key midfielder creating the chances on the attack, that center attacking midfielder. Sammy Gadiri and Gomez both just haven't fully emerged, I'll put it that way, so far this season.
I mean, Hemmings is sort of taken on that a little bit more of an attacking midfield role and has had chances himself. He hasn't created as many chances, but yeah, Gomez, we saw with that little bit of magic last game here against these two teams.
Yeah, frankly, Gomez and Keegan, they combine extremely well at times this year.
Oh dear, oh.
A little bit late on the call, but Lopez Espin almost catching Seiler sleeping.
Seiler just asking for a little bit of early help from the AR. He looked over and saw that the flag wasn't up. Lopez Espin took advantage of it, and then in the end the flag did go up.
Meanwhile, you probably have Jay in the back saying, hey guys, can we get the ball? Well, we're back up and running with the Triumph. Back the other way. Sliding challenge by Pollock, enough to get it back from Moon. Gomez takes it in. And I've noticed that in the second half so far, Gomez, he's playing a little bit deeper as well, too. And so is Walker. It seems like in the midfield right now, it's very free-flowing, not too much on the identity spectrum with them.
Just trying to get a little more involved. Pushing the fullbacks a little further up. Nice little shove by Cam Saul there. Got away with it. Chance now, perhaps.
Pollock, a good look over to Keegan, but can't get there as the ball passed him. And some of the best success this season for Greenville has been when Pollock can emerge up the field down the left flank. Right now, Lansing doing what they need to do here. After the goal by Moon, also against Fort Madison a few weeks ago, they bunkered in a bit and braved the chances from the Flamingos and were able to get away with 3 points on the road and a 1-0 win. Certainly they'll be looking to do the same today. And with possession of the ball fully here to start the second half, that'll certainly help them out.
So we've seen some action in the Greenville Triumph dugout. Perhaps we'll see Sammy Gadiri or Chris Bermudez come on here and try to provide a spark of some kind for this Greenville offense.
Good defense by Bolin, getting that out of play. Corner kick coming for Lansing. And I feel like we might be due for some Chris Bermudez. That 1v1 ability maybe to open things up on the wing.
Yeah, it's been a while since we've seen him get an extended period of action, if I'm remembering correctly.
Yeah, fans remember back to the beginning of League One history, that March 29th inaugural
so long ago
match.
that it was.
Oh yeah, exactly. It's been a long summer so far. Really, he was the name really talked about for Triumph, the Triumph. And his 1v1 ability against Tormenta to start the season.
Bermudez did start the game against Chattanooga on May 26th, but did not see any action in 3 of the last 4 games after starting the first 6. So perhaps falling out a little bit out of favor. But 30 minutes to prove something here for Chris Bermudez, the youngster.
Substitution for Greenville
just turned 20 recently.
Minute. Entering the match is
coming on 7 for Cameron Saul and adding some pop. And I feel like Muhammad's been very dangerous with the speed on the wing. Very similar player to him, Bermudez. Now they're going to have one on both wings.
Yeah, I don't think Cameron Saul did himself any particular favors in trying to continue his role as a starter for Greenville tonight.
Headed on by Bermudez. Keegan comes over. Through ball for Muhammad. Can't get through the center backs. Takes a chance, but up and around the left post. As Bermudez and Muhammad just couldn't communicate there to figure out the chance, and it went wide.
Yeah, lovely ball through by Jay Keegan, and got into his. He almost stopped Chris Bermudez from taking a shot, but decent strike by Muhammad, just wide.
Muhammad with the chance, yet another in this match. He leads Greenville in created chances. Knocked back centrally through to Paulitz, and he'll let it go on to Jay. So at least some momentum with that opportunity for Greenville, but that's exactly what you want to see from Bermudez off the bench. Creating chances, working off Muhammad, and allowing maybe Keegan to hold up the ball and pass it off to these wingers.
Yeah, he's going to slot straight into that left side where Cameron Saw was. See if he can create some excitement. Chris Bermudez, it's been a few weeks.
Brought down by Gomez, working through traffic. Plays continuing.
It's obstruction, that's what it is. Evo Serta with the...
Seiler. Centrally. And he takes over. Moving up the field, Gomez, and now Greenville working a bit of possession. Gomez, quick turnaround. Here's Walker. Over the right flank to Boland. Tried to lay it off to Muhammad. Stays alive. Boland, the chance. Out of play. And it's last off the Triumph player, Boland. Stoneman will head over and take the throw in. Pollock after it. And he'll play it on back safely through the defense. Back to Jay. Walker. Quick turn. Hemmings down the right flank. Cut off, at least momentarily. But Boland breaking free, cuts it back over. Bermudez, but loses it on the heavy touch. Foul called, and it goes back to the Triumph on a handball. And these last few chances certainly getting the fans back into it. Lucky bounce here for Boland.
Yeah, good work again down the right wing by Don Boland. Cut it back for Bermudez, but yeah, that first touch just let him down. If he'd actually let it go, Carlos Gomez would have had a free shot from 20 yards out. There's some sirens in the background, if everything's all right.
The two captains, Aaron Walker, Tyler Pollock, standing over the ball, looking for an equalizer late here. 66th minute. Walker up under this one. Seiler can't keep it in. And a corner kick in the end. Bermudez immediately over it. This is exactly where Moshe Bani started the possession. That got the early goal via Nick Moon's header. We'll see if Greenville can do the same from the same spot. Bermudez off the bench, sends it in, headed on by Seiler, back of the net! Goal Seiler out of Anderson, South Carolina. He has your equalizer, and he'll hug his buddy Evan Lee. Paul Klaus, among others, celebrating. We're all even here in the 67th.
Evan Lee, tight header by Cole Seiler down the end where he did the legacy leap, didn't do it tonight, well, did a leap over the signage this time, and a good header left Cleveland with no chance, caught flat-footed, and Cole Seiler looking for his teammates right away.
Ladies and gentlemen, Greenville goal scored by number 14.
So for Greenville, that's their first goal.
with the assist.
In quite a while here in League One play. Last scoring against the Richmond Kickers in their home match on May 18th. It's nearly 1 month later that they find the back of the net once again, back on their home field. We're all even as the Ignite looking to capitalize. Into the box with Lopez Espin. Bolin wins it back and sweeps it on downfield.
And you had the assist on that play where the corner was from Chris Bermudez, so substitution pays off for John Harks. Momentum now all Greenville's way with this decent crowd tonight getting into it.
But we talked about Greenville earlier on missing some height there with Evan Lee out of the match. One of those players we mentioned, Cole Seiler, comes up big on the header.
Yeah, he's a very versatile player. Seen him play defense and midfield this season. Great athleticism and showed it on that header.
And I remember back a few weeks ago, after that first match where he was moved into the midfield, and Hark said he moved him up because of that aerial ability, trying to win balls, get back possession on goal kicks and the such. And right there, that proves it on the header into the back of the net. And talk on the sideline there between John Harks and our head official, Matthew Corrigan.
Yeah, coach isn't afraid to let the referees know what he feels like. We've seen that going back to the first game of the season where there were a few decisions that went the wrong way.
But hey, a head coach giving a referee the thumbs up, that's a good sign.
Poor free kick though there for Greenville. Didn't end up there with anything for Lansing, thankfully.
Bermudez, after the assist on that last goal, that assist, his first of the season. Down the right flank now. There's the first goal scorer of tonight's match, Nick Moon. A header as well in that one. Down the right flank. Oshabane loses it. Bermudez keeps it in. As Walker will move it to the opposite end of the field. Our producer, Justin Cohen, making a good point. Number 14, pretty lucky tonight. Both goal scorers here through the 69th. Paulitz moving up through the midfield. He'll lay it off for Walker. Down the left flank. Good run by Jake Keegan. Keegan trying to find the right angle. He'll lay it off for Bermudez. Can he find another assist here? Sends it into the box. Nearly headed on through. Hemming skies it into the Reedy River Riot. Oh, Keegan almost on the end of that one. Player down for Lansing.
Jake Keegan just been a couple of inches taller than this one, but in the back of the net. Another beautiful cross by Chris Bermudez. And Hemmings couldn't keep it down.
And down there, I believe, is Stoneman.
May have been caught in the collision with Jake Keegan, perhaps.
That's what it looked like. A bit of traffic there through, and why Keegan couldn't get to that ball. And Hemmings getting off another good chance on the far side of the box. To say the least, it's going to be a fun final 20 minutes.
Yeah, very similar to the last meeting here, except for the red cards.
That certainly a match I'll always remember. 3 red cards in that match. And Cole Seiler was actually one of the players that was sent off in that match, I believe.
He was for a second, yeah. It'll be interesting to see how these Lansing legs, again, this is their 4th away match in succession. A lot of travel. And I really talked about this week in our conference call about how this travel really affects these guys. And a lot of them, many of them first-time pros and dealing with a season this long. See how they deal with it in these final 20 minutes. They're a pretty deep bench, this Lansing.
And Reese Williams, a player that's usually featuring as maybe a wing-back slot. He's on the bench as well.
Yeah, Steve St. Duke, Celso, and Alex Bruce both with plenty of offensive potency. Might be happy with the draw though, we'll see. First substitute should tell us a lot.
Cleveland will take the kick here. It was a goal kick in the end as Hemmings skied that shot. Headed on by Polak. Polak down the left flank. Tries to bring it on to Bermudez, but Koifik there. Knocks it on back to Cleveland. Pressure from Keegan. Knocked down by Polak. Bermudez comes up to it. Looking for the cross. Puts it in. Muhammad the header. Saved on the end line. Oh, it is April 6th, folks. Because that's how Lansing got many other stops. Header on, and this one saved by Cleveland. I'm not sure who got to it, but Cleveland wasn't there. It was one of the center backs.
It was not a goalkeeper making a miraculous save to deny the triumph. It's a defender on the line. Unbelievable.
This match has opened up.
Yeah, just listen, the spark of Chris Bermudez, what he brings, that young energy that he's brought to the field all season, really. This is what he's done.
Polak will take it on the near side and they'll reset. Let's take another look at this one.
Good pressure by Jake Keegan. Polak put it back in. Keegan was offside and had to leave it with Bermudez. Lovely cross in and dive-in header cleared off the line. I think it might have been Ricky Lopez Espin back there, was it, number 9?
In succession, the header here and Cleveland right there. Let's say in the first matchup of the season, Lansing stuck in this game tooth and nail with saves at the end line by their center backs. Koifik, I remember distinctly making a sliding bicycle kick to save one.
Just inside the post, yeah, that was a stellar clearance.
Moon will take the throw in. Some scores from around League One, 73rd minute, 1-0 Chattanooga. 30th minute, Forward Madison, bottom of the table, but they're up 1-0 on FC Tucson. And Tormenta and Orlando City B tied 0-0 after 29. Lopez Espin through traffic. Moshabane. Sends the cross in there. He was the initial assist today and cleared up and up to Dallas J. Lopez Espin would have been right there for a strike, but Seiler a big stop.
Massive interception there by Cole Seiler. As you see, gets a tap on the side from Dallas J saying thank you very much for that. Otherwise, Ricky Lopez Espin would have been in. The sniper that he is. Can't give him those kind of chances.
Hemmings, right flank. Ball sent in. Keegan's there and swept away on a brief touch. Corner kick for the Triumph.
You can see the change in just confidence now with this Triumph team coming forward, looking up, pushing bodies forward. They're probably realizing this Lansing team is maybe running out of legs a little bit in the final 15 minutes. Bermudez again now.
Chance coming. Hemmings. And deflection. He made his case to the referee. He'll win it that way. Another corner kick.
Walker might take this one. Swing one in from in front of the beer garden.
The service in. Headed on, just under it, but cleared in the end by Moshabane. No chance here for Bermudez through traffic. Still going. Quick spin move. Left side of the box. Chance put across. And cleared out of play. Big stop by the Ignite once again.
Yeah, what amazing footwork by Chris Bermudez. And Carlos Gomez was waiting on the far post for this ball. I had to give him the put that one away, you would think. Lovely work by Bermudez and key interception at the back post there. It's by Stoneman, I think it was.
Yeah. That time Stoneman clearing the ball. But Bermudez, super sub here tonight. Ball sent in. Cleveland off his line. He commands it. Looking for the distribution. Quickly downfield. The Triumph all over this one. As Polak takes it in. We'll switch sides of the field. Attempting to get it to Muhammad. Headed up and out of play, and it'll be a throw-in.
Ladies and gentlemen, your
Substitution coming on. We'll have to see who's available, as it is Celso for Moshabani. So if you talk about two impact players coming off the bench, Chris Bermudez and Celso certainly fit the bill in this match.
The substitution shows you the intent of Nate Miller. He wants to win this game. He wants to go home with a victory at the end of this road swing. They already have one at Madison. Looking for a second one here. Celso been out of favor a little bit recently, but can put himself right back in the mix if he can find the winner here.
Celso, the 19-year-old Haitian, 1 assist this season in 9 appearances. And such a creative force at such a young age for this squad, similarly to Bermudez, as Polak goes down in a heat.
I'm not sure how good of a look Matt Corrigan got at this foul, because it was nasty from Celso. He had his foot up, and Tyler Polak's not one to go down unless he's really hurt. He was Nick Moon's claiming that Polak's also had the foot up. Polak also had the foot up. Taking a look at it, poor touch. It wasn't as bad as it initially looked.
It's a 50-50 situation. Nick Moon obviously has a case. Both players are going after the ball.
Polak got there first, though. Well, he's got to the spot first. And there's some rubber chunks to rub off his bald head.
Nonetheless, it's a free kick here for the Triumph. Walker and Polak over it. 79th minute.
Bit of an awkward spot here. We're almost 2 straight on. All you can really do is sort of flip this one into the mixer and hope for that knockdown, perhaps.
Ball sent in, left side. No one there, though, and Cleveland takes it in. Wasted opportunity here for the Triumph. Celso, he'll get his first touches to the ball here off the bench, working against Polak. Left side, he'll send it over to Lopez Espin. Cuts around, but loses it off the deflection off his ankle, and it's brought in by Jay.
Yeah, disappointing there by Lopez Espin. You can see what he was trying to do, but touch just let him down. Cole Seiler was in good position.
But for those that don't know Celso, that's what he can do. Really distribute the ball well despite being a wing player, and really great vision.
Straight up swap on this right side for Moshabani. We saw earlier in the season them work so well together, but just a straight replacement. So this one tonight.
Lansing back the other way. Celso, right side of the box. Laid off for Rafa Minzingen, cleared by Polak. Here comes Bermudez.
Saw how quickly Nick Moon closed Bermudez down there. He knows what this youngster can do down that left side. Didn't want to give him any space. Triumph.
Muhammad working against Hollingsworth, who nearly slipped there on the moves.
Amazing to watch with his footwork on Muhammad. Thrilling the crowd.
Boland sends it in there, cleared high and away. Boland gets a touch in there and back the other way by Lansing. Greenville will take it in and sweep it around. Who's up, who's down, where does your club sit? Find out every Monday in the official USL League One Power Rankings, only on USLLeague1.com.
Somebody can find a late winner here. They'll certainly be moving up in those power rankings as well as the standings.
Yeah, right now Lansing at number 6, Greenville at number 7 after sliding a bit, not scoring a goal in the last 2 matches. Well, they have one tonight. Both teams do. Moon knocks it on back to Gomez. Ignite with some possession building here. Minzingen, oh, beautiful touch to Hollingsworth. Here, put across, and it will escape out of the box untouched. Oh, what an opportunity for Lansing.
Yeah, lovely bit of skill there. And cross just ended up going to no one, but beautiful bit of skill by Marshall Hollingsworth, I think it was.
Polak looking for the throw-in over Hemmings. It will be headed on. Keegan knocks it down. Muhammad on the run. He'll get there. race with Stoneman and Hollingsworth. It's all Muhammad here. Through the traffic, tips it, but right into the arms of Cleveland. Good effort, though, by him against 2 defenders.
Some tired legs against some tired legs there. As you see, both of them feeling that run. Hollingsworth did a good job get back, and Stoneman did just enough to get his body in the way and force a weak shot from Muhammad. Found himself in plenty of space, though.
Clearly, both coaches happy with what they're seeing. We're through 82 minutes and 1 sub apiece. Offsides is Celso there, and it'll be a free kick. He'll go down after Bolin touches him, and all players involved seem like to know that that was a bit of a flop, but
an interesting one.
We're back underway. Polak, Gomez, down the right flank, Muhammad up there, and out.
What a sneaky goal. That wasn't the best of throws from Omar Mohammed. His arms were apparently as tired as his legs. I have a sneaky feeling that Jake Keegan's going to have an impact here in this last meeting of the season. Chris, can you talk about that for us?
Well, certainly he had an impact in the first meeting, scoring in the 53rd minute. And that is really the comparison we see with this match overall. It's opened up so much in the second half with chances from both sides. Greenville now, though, maybe using some momentum from the fans here at Legacy Early College to get some of these chances going after that Seiler header equalized it here in the second half.
Got some tired. Grant Stoneman looking for some help. Yeah. It's disappointing that these teams have played each other so much in the first almost half of the season. These teams again won't face each other, but just the way this USL League One schedule has worked in the first year, and teams are very used to each other. And there are always going to be tight matches. That happens.
We were talking about it before the broadcast, Ross, that Lansing kind of an interesting schedule. They've played Richmond 3 times already. They've played Greenville 3 times already. And, you know, that's 6 of...
TFC is TFC 2 as well, I think, right?
Yeah, they're going to play on the third time on Wednesday. So
yeah.
It's kind of crazy. And including that Wednesday matchup, they'll now have played, 12 or 13 games included in all that. And they played 3 teams 3 times already. It's a crazy schedule, and obviously they had the benefit of playing a Richmond Kickers team that was pretty depleted early on in the season. They got 7 points because of it. And it's just kind of one of those quirks we're dealing with early on in League One's history.
Yeah, it's almost 3/4 of their games have been against 3 teams, which is only a third of their opponents. Just the way it's gone. Nate Miller expressed a little bit of frustration about it earlier in the week, but first season, some growing pains, and again, certain teams had to play certain games on the road early. Another substitution here, so we're going to see another Robinson, perhaps.
Robinson coming on for Greenville, and it looks like Carr getting set to come on at least momentarily for Lansing as they work on Stoneman.
I'll take back what I said about Jake Keegan.
The Jake Keegan's night is done. This is why Ross is not the head coach.
Not the first time you said that this season.
But Edmundo Robinson on for Greenville. He has 3 appearances this season, 1 start. Just recently returning. He's been dealing with some injury time throughout the season. Kyle Carr also on for Grant Stoneman, as that's a pretty straight switch there at the back.
Kyle Carr, and leading the match, number 4, Grant.
And that was one issue Lansing had against Toronto. I believe they took out Fricky in the match on Saturday, and it led to a wide open array of chances for Toronto, but bringing in someone like Carr as well can cover the defense pretty well if needed. There's Muhammad trying to win the ball. 50-50 will go the way of Lansing.
John Marks disagrees with that one. Yeah, Omar Mohammed has worked very hard tonight. He needs some work on those leg muscles in the training room after this one. Let's take another look at that. It was good arm-on-arm battle, and yeah, Omar Mohammed perhaps got the hook over there. That's what the referee saw.
Here's Carr with his first touch of the match. John Harkes looking on there, looking for a home victory.
John Harkes talked to us this week about his whole family being in town, including Ian and his 2 daughters. I'll spend Father's Day with him tomorrow, so in attendance tonight, you would think.
Happy Father's Day, of course, to Ross and all the other dads out there. My dad as well.
Sure. Yeah, happy Father's Day to Donald.
Ball sent down the left flank. and just beyond Bermudez. Koyfik will take the throw in on the near side, and Lansing, they're certainly looking like they're going after it here on the road. They're not settling for that point. Gomez trying to win it back, right back to Walker. Gomez stretching but can't get there.
Just out of reach. Tired Gomez legs there as well.
Trickles through. Xavier Gomez passes it left side. Muhammad up. Couldn't get the ball back though. Lopez Espin working the give and go. Too heavy of a touch though. Settles it back over to Seiler and Dallas J. 88th minute. Moon goal in the first half. Seiler goal in the second half. Both off corner kicks. Both headers. Muhammad goes down. Greenville with possession in Lansing territory.
Muhammad should have looked up. He had Edmondo Robinson. I think he was trying to stay on side. He was open on that right wing. And Muhammad didn't see him and apologized for it afterwards. We got the free kick nonetheless.
Just 2 shots registered by Lansing in the second half, both not on target. Greenville is up to 16 shots in this match, but of course just 6 on target, 3 of those in the second half. They'll look to get the one maybe to give them the lead here. Polak standing over the ball. 89th minute here at home. Ball sent through and Robinson won't get to that one. It's back to Cleveland.
Free kicks have been a little disappointing tonight for Greenville. Delivery just hasn't quite been there. It seemed like they're working on some training ground moves, but the execution just hasn't quite been there.
Cleveland will take this. Headed on by Moon. Here comes Celso. And it's cleared just in time by Politz. Pretty wishful shot sent there by Rafa Minzingen. Out of play, and Jay back with the ball.
Yeah, good run. A little too much space allowed to another substitution here, it looks like.
Looked like Minzingen running off on the substitution. And for Greenville, they'll be making a substitution as it's Travis Ward on now for Muhammad. We talked about him maybe feeling a bit tired as the match has gone on, a little bit slower in the last few minutes. Well, now Park's trying to add some spark for stoppage time in Travis Ward.
Yeah, I know Muhammad wasn't involved in the goal, but he's probably been my Greenville Triumph man of the match tonight. He's worked terribly hard and shown off those quick feet at times. A couple of good chances.
He leads the team in created chances for a reason. We saw that tonight.
Yeah, he's been great since coming back from injury. John Hawks brought him over from his time, knowing him from his time at FC Cincinnati, and he's solidified his spot on that right wing.
So we're hearing from the sideline currently 5 minutes of stoppage time. This one far from over. Walker stands over this free kick. And indeed, it officially will be 5 minutes. Sent in there, headed down, top of the box. Bermudez settles it, chips in, Seiler after it, but knocked away just in time by Fricky. This actually looks like it's coming back.
I think it might have been an offside call. Fricky was remonstrating at the assistant referee. He apparently got the offside call he was looking for.
Well, Keegan and Seiler both were after the ball there, so if either one's offsides, then they're going to call it.
It was a nice little flick over though by Chris Bermudez. Good vision to see those runs, even if they were offside.
Headed on by Moon towards Celso. Looked like Pollitt's got the deflection. No, he did not. It's Lansing ball.
It's a very puzzling call, but I was right in front of it. Maybe he wasn't looking at it. I'm not sure what happened there.
Pollock whiffs there on the clearance. Back heel by Walker, gives it right back to Moon. Moon services left flank. Out of play. We'll see which way this goes. And a substitution first. It will go to the Triumph on this throw-in.
Ladies and gentlemen, substitution for Lansing in the 92nd minute.
Alex Bruce on for the final 4 minutes.
Number 8, Kyle Carr. And leaving the match, correction, entering the match number 20.
Lopez Espin off.
Bruce.
But I feel like to have Alex Bruce really affect the match a little bit late. Robinson running in there, tackled away by Koifik. Throw in for the Triumph in the final third.
It's Lansing back. Lansing made so many last-ditch tackles today to deny chances for Greenville. Another one there.
Polak running up here. He thought about it. Battling with Celso, goes down. Free kick here for the Triumph.
Veteran move there by Tyler Polak. He didn't get it when he initially wanted. Now Celso's going to get a yellow for some verbal.
Dissent there. Gives him the yellow card off the bench.
Yeah, it was a veteran move by Polak. He just slowed down. Knew Celso was on his back.
A caution has been issued by the
Broke the
referee.
contact and got the foul. What Celso was so upset about. Still a yellow card.
Second yellow card of the season for Celso. Taking a look at the contact here.
Just a little too much energy in that contact from behind. And again, Tyler Polak felt it coming and helped his own way down.
And the foul, the yellow card was not on the foul. It was on Matthew Corrigan saying, hey, I've had enough. As Walker will stand over this one. Chips it in right side. Headed up by Fricky out of play. Corner kick for Greenville. And this was the deciding factor last time the first time these two teams played at Legacy Early College, I should say. Bermudez will be on the end of this one. They had a goal last time around. Ricky heading it out of play. Bermudez, service in, grabbed by Cleveland. Can the Ignite find something down the field? They're on the run. The crowd has silenced on that service down the field. Hollingsworth now retreating back as Greenville. Service in. Jay takes it in. Throws it right back over to Lansing. A foul called there against Ward.
Travis Ward was asking what exactly that was for. It looked like the Lansing player just fell over, but Matt Corrigan made the decision. It's a dangerous position here for Lansing.
Might see an extra minute maybe here for what has happened in the stoppage time, but for now, about a minute left, and Carr will send this free kick into the box. Sweeps it in there and falls through untouched. Jay will quickly get after this one. Jay sends it down the right flank, barely stays in play on the header. No, it will be a throw-in.
Dallas Jay, not for the first time tonight. His distribution has been a little poor at times. Maybe the third or fourth one that he's given away in his own third.
I mean, I don't blame him. He was on 10 or so flights this past week.
Yeah, you and I talked before the broadcast. He's probably feeling all right with the body, but a little foggy in the head, and just some of the decision-making on the clearance stuff tonight hasn't been exactly great, but we'll get away here with one. Greenville will get a chance to clear it.
And it's nothing against them. We all feel jet lag just by flying through one time zone.
No,
I can't imagine.
No, it does a job on the body for sure, especially the head. But Greenville might be okay getting away with this 1-1 draw again. Still have that only one game with two goals. They'll take a point here against a strong Lansing squad, I think.
And the whistle will blow on that final touchdown field. 1-1 it finishes between these two sides. An amazing match with so many chances in the second half.
Yeah, things really opened up, and game-tying goal by Seiler, and both teams had chances in the second half to win it, but 1-1 it finishes.
There's the goal scorer for Greenville on the header off the corner kick. Seiler into the back, and then it was Moon in the first half that converted on a header off a cross. Got things going for Lansing. Now let's take a look at our full match highlights. These two sides, an entertaining match, but neither team could come out on top. As we'll start here with Greenville opportunities.
Yeah, point here from Ramble, kind of point-blank attempt by Seiler. He would get his revenge later on when he put it the other side of Cleveland, but they really should have had two-headed goals tonight.
Keegan here knocks it over to Muhammad. This was the persistence of Saul.
Yeah, you see the Lansing defense stop, and Cameron Saul kept running. And you've seen that one in his sleep tonight, there's no doubt about it. Could have put it away perhaps, just a little off balance.
And here's the goal for Lansing. This ball back out where it started on the corner kick. Moshe Bani is still there. He sends this in.
Yeah, lovely ball in. And Nick Moon's not going to miss those.
A point-blank range for his third of the season. 1-0 Lansing, but Greenville, they would fight back in this one and continue with the opportunities in their own half. Lansing still Rafa just before the half. This was a beautiful strike.
Yeah, one of the better strikes in the game from outside the box, and a good save by Dallas Jay.
Jay keeping his team in there after his international duty. Muhammad, really, you said your player of the match overall. Chris Bermudez, though, off the bench here, finds Seiler.
Yeah, good physicality there by Cole Seiler. He was trying to get knocked off the ball by Kevin Koyfik, and he managed to hold his position in a great header.
Beautiful finish there as he went to celebrate with his teammates that fortunately couldn't be part of the action today. Evan Lee and Paul Clowes. Reedy River Riot finding the equalizer through Seiler as the match continued. Wouldn't find a breakthrough opportunity for either side after that, but Greenville really took over in the match. And as you can see, finished with 16 shots, just 6 on target. But they held Lansing to just 3 shots overall, none on target in the second half.
Yep, again, this Greenville Triumph defense continues to excel. Yeah, obviously, Nick Moon did get on the board, but that was really, he didn't do much else tonight. Neither did Tumi Moshabani, and Greenville will go on this 3-game road trip with a point here.
No applaud here for the Reedy River Ride, and as Ross mentioned, they won't be back at Legacy Early College for quite a while, and next 3 matches. But for Lansing, they're back at Cooley Law School Stadium for their next 2, so they'll be looking to maybe climb the standings in that regard.
Yeah, see Evan Lee there in a walking boot. He might not be taking much part in this road trip, and Greenville didn't miss him though tonight for the most part, other than on the goal.
It took a bit to get into the match for this defense. Greenville there giving the early opportunity up to Lansing. But in the end, it is a draw between these two. The Triumph fighting back but couldn't find that winner like they did back on April 6th. Next time we may see these two teams meet again would be in the playoffs. But for now, I'd like to thank our entire crew. And alongside me, Ross Davenport, I'm Chris Makoviak. Have a great night, everybody, and enjoy Father's Day.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League League One cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League League One.